As to the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
we talked earlier.
We talked earlier. Them. Yeah.
They lost 42-10 to the 49ers,
right.
and it felt like it's over, it's done, you're just wasting your time.
Yeah.
They had weeks to rebuild it. Now you don't have the same amount of time to kind of get your swagger back. And
they're going to Miami this week.
They're going to Miami.
Right.
Remember, I said last week when they beat my Eagles.
Apparently.
I said, you know what? If you lose at Buffalo and you lose at Miami, what you just did doesn't mean shit.
Yeah, right.
And they're halfway to it not meaning.
Halfway to shit.
Yeah. 47 minutes today. That may be a record.
I know. For us, I think it is.
So, if you end up the 5 seed, think about that path. I mean, they have to go to Tampa Bay again. They had to do that last year. And then if you win, you got to go to San Francisco unless the 6 seed or the 7 seed win.
Right.
Then you'd have to go to Philly.
Yeah, most likely they're going to have to play them both. They're going to have to hope Detroit can upset one of them to maybe where that falls in place for them, and they play the Lions. But they're going to play the Lions in 2 weeks, right? It's after the Dolphins, they play the Lions.
If the Cowboys have to play at San Francisco in the postseason, it's done.
Well, I almost feel like we're getting to the point where if Dallas has to play anywhere but their home, it just doesn't feel like they can do it. It's 2 different teams. It's kind of shocking. I didn't think yesterday would matter as much with them being on field turf and everything there. I thought, okay, it's away, but it's still the surface they like and all that, right? But no, it didn't matter. And they're not going to lack the confidence because they're cocky and they're the Cowboys, and that's part of the problem of why yesterday happens. Last week, they're rocking around Dallas, and, this is what happens there. You're God. You beat the Eagles, right? You're God. So they hear that, and here they go. They fall right back into the trap.
Dak said something like that earlier this year. You pump us up. Well, you guys are the ones that are supposed to not listen to it.
Exactly. I felt like going into yesterday, it was a little bit of a different Dallas team, that they wouldn't do something like we saw yesterday anymore, that there was a little more grit and toughness about their football team. And now I do question that. Now, I know they were missing Jonathan Hankins in the middle of the defense.
That was the point Shereen Williams made, that without him, it made it a lot easier for the Bills to run roughshod over them.
No doubt. And Mozzie Smith, their first-round pick out of Michigan, has not been anything special, so he can't hold the fort down for Jonathan Hankins, let alone you and I have discussed a million times. One of the problems with Dallas is their defensive front is not very big to begin with. I didn't think Buffalo would do that to them, that's for sure. But that was a little bit alarming in the way they dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
I want to make one more point.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this on PFTPM. I haven't written about it yet, but if this Cowboys thing ends up being a postseason disaster, and if the trail of breadcrumbs goes back to Mike McCarthy,
right.
We're talking about where Bill Belichick may end up next year, and it sounds ridiculous to even think about it.
Wow.
But there's a vibe out there that the Cowboys could be the place. When you go back and look at the press conferences that Bill Belichick did before they played the Cowboys this year, over-the-top praise of Stephen and Jerry Jones, over the top.
Wow.
Micah Parsons, Lawrence Taylor, got a quarterback, got all the pieces. The non-playoff teams aren't the teams to look at. He's going to want to go somewhere and win.
Oh,
there's going to be one of these playoff teams that are going to piss down their leg.
Right.
And an owner's going to say, well, wait a minute, I got everything I need except the right coach.
Finishing touches.
So move this guy out, bring in Bill Belichick, and off we go. And the Cowboys, Shereen Williams is like, it's never going to happen. And she has said if it does happen, it's going to be a tattoo of Jerry on one cheek and Mike and Bill Belichick on the other cheek, and not on her face.
Whoa.
So
okay.
I've already offered to pay part of the salary for Bill Belichick in Dallas if that's the end result.
I'll pay for Shereen's each cheek to make sure she gets those tattoos if that happens, okay? I promise you.
I might be violating the confidentiality of the PFT text message chain, but that comment was made yesterday. Because, look, it will take a lot of bending by both Jerry Jones and Bill Belichick
That's where
for
I
it to
just
happen.
can't see it happening.
They're both going to have to really bend.
I just don't see.
But maybe there's a way.
Old man stubborn versus old man stubborn.
Maybe there's a way.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Maybe there's a way.
But to your point with Belichick, and he's not going to go to some team that's 2-15. He's not like,
No.
oh, let me go into a rebuild. You're right. He's going to go to a team that he felt like is very close. They weren't happy with the head coach or whatever. Now I can get you over the hump.
He's already gone to one place where Parcells couldn't finish the job.
Right.
Now he goes to another place where Parcells couldn't finish the job. And even though they say all the right things when the cameras are on, there's still some heat there between the two of them.
I'm sure.
And I'm sure he would love to go to a place where Parcells didn't finish the job and finish the job.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.